And we are back for another live episode of the Kingdom. Welcome back, everybody. We're glad to have you as always. Welcome to our beautiful viewers across the country, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Pincher Creek, Alberta. Shout out to Annie Kim. She gave us a text this morning saying that we need to turn our hats around because you can't see the King logo. So I think Reggie might have etched one in his with a permanent marker, but he's got his on the undershirt. So we're going to get things going here. We'll be back in approximately 30 seconds, and we will see you then.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Kingdom. It is my honor to be live and in the flesh once again, and at an actual computer as opposed to a phone. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. As usual, we'll head quickly up north. I think we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, so we're tee things up pretty quickly here. See what's going on with our boy Reg. How you doing, buddy?
All right. Doing good. Okay. Thanks for asking. Oh, I thought we were just being quick with it. So just kidding. No, things are good. Shit ton of snow here today. I don't know about
what?
You guys didn't get any?
He's melting like a mofo.
Oh my God, it snowed like crazy today. That's the most snow I've seen that day for a long time. It was like pouring rain except snow the entire day. Pat was just busier than hell today.
You didn't get any drums?
Nothing. Nope, she was she's a wet one, but just because everything's melting.
Yeah, it was even or not even.
Even par.
Just even par. It's supposed to be 5 under tomorrow.
Is it? Not a bad day. Not a bad day.
No, I just made that up. I don't actually.
No, I don't know, man. Like if we keep getting kind of lucky like this for the rest of February, we might have a pretty quick in the calendar springtime here. So fingers crossed. I don't know. Did you guys see the rodent debacle last week?
No, I didn't see any of it.
What do you call it? The groundhog that was trying to see his shadow or not? The boys opened up the trunk to pull him out, and he was a corpse.
No way.
I think that was just Ottawa. So, like, there's probably 1,000 different groundhogs. Like, which one's right? Like, this is the dumbest thing that's ever existed. We base our weather patterns around a groundhog.
But some people are religious to it, man.
It's retarded.
It is.
But it must have just started with one, right? Somewhere.
And Punxsutawney, I guess, is like the birthplace, rather. Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh yeah. I've heard of that one before. Yeah. I mean, I personally don't put a whole lot of faith in the groundhog or the weatherman for that reason. I might actually trust the groundhog more than the weather people.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
What's going on in Rossman these days, big guy?
Oh, top of the evening to you, ladies and gents. I'm starting to lose my voice a little bit here, but I think I'll be good. I got a chelada here, so.
Yeah, you've been yakking a lot tonight.
Yeah, we just finished our very first 88 sats. It wasn't really a meeting because we did it live, so it was mostly like an update, I guess you'd say, on where things are at with everything. And so Colton and I, Colton was there. He was monitoring the chat. The chat wasn't too busy for most of it, but anyways, did a whole lot of talking. I also had I don't know what you'd even call it. I had a chat with Steve Langston today, and while the record button was on, so we touched on a bunch of cool subjects about his business, about his real estate in rural Manitoba that he's working on. And so that'll be coming out on the Silverstone channel soon. So She's been a busy day. Lots of sitting in front of this freaking webcam here, but I'll let you guys try to talk as much as possible tonight.
Do you continue on to OnlyFans after the Kngdom?
Yeah, after hours.
Silver stones.
Rossman after dark.
Cool. Just turn the golden stones at 10 p.m.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what comes of that. I'm hammering buttons here. Yeah, sign up for the Patreon. Swipe up for golden stones after dark. Drums, how are you doing, buddy? Let's get to you.
Yo, pretty good over here. We got some tough news on Friday that my grandpa passed Friday morning. So that was a little Debbie Downer on the weekend, but it was a lot of family time, so that was good. He passed Friday, so we all kind of did gatherings at Grandma's house on and off throughout the day Friday, and then she wanted to have everybody over for supper on Saturday. So we showed up. We showed up there Saturday, and so her and Dad and my aunt and uncle all went to like the funeral home and got the arrangements done for the cremation, all that. They were able to view him at that point. So when we get in, Liz is hugging Grandma, and then Grandma gets to me, and Liz is like, "Sorry for everything," and Grandma goes, "Yeah, we had to go down and see him and everything." And Liz is like, "Yeah, that must have been tough." And Grandma goes, "Well, we had to make sure his mouth was. I had to go make sure his mouth was closed before they got to him, so that he could actually get into heaven." Like, this is my grandma's sick sense of humor. So this is where I get my sickness from. And like Liz was like, "Oh," like kind of stunned, and my aunt just turned white, and Grandma just laughs and carries on. Yeah, very unfortunate news for the fam, but he's in a better place. We kind of got some word on Wednesday that potentially this could be on the horizon, so the quickness of it was a good thing in that case. So
yes.
Yeah, just tough weekend, but a good weekend as well, with some much needed family time with everybody. So
yeah,
good on that sense, but unfortunate, and rest easy.
Yes, sir. Sorry to hear that, buddy.
Likewise.
We got what do we got tonight? We got lots going on. We got some housekeeping, we got some non-golf stuff, we got some golf stuff as per usual, and then we got our segments. So before we do that, though, let's raise a toast for Drums' Gramps, and we'll carry on. Hopefully, did she end up shutting his mouth before getting to heaven?
Yeah. Make sure he got in.
It's kind of too bad. Like, it always comes down to something like that when you get together. Like, it takes that to get together with family. Hey? It's kind of the shits that way, but
yeah.
But like you said,
like, I don't know. It's like family. I don't know, like about your guys' family, but everybody else's family's got some kind of drama.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that like the shitty events are what pull you together.
Yeah,
but it can also be like kind of a blessing in that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Put your differences aside, whatever they may be, and be there for each other.
Mm-hmm.
First on the docket here, Reggie, we'll do some housekeeping. We got a couple milestones. So we're going to talk about a couple of milestones, and then a story from Drums.
Firstly, most important is Rippy hitting 400 games in the NHL. I mean, any way you look at it, that's impressive as hell.
No shit. That's a lot of games, man.
I mean, I can still remember like the early years when he was in Bridgeport, stuck in Bridgeport, basically by Jack Capuano and Dougie Waite, and he just couldn't get the call up. And now he just seems like it's just a regular thing to turn on the TV and watch when he plays for the Owls. But it hasn't always been like that. And he's had a heck of a career so far, I would say. Makes all of us very proud. And yeah, big milestone for him last night, hitting 400. The second one is an absolute legend, man. I had thought he retired till I saw that tweet the other day. Like, I thought he was done. And,
well, he was.
And he just came back this year just for shits?
So the team was struggling. What I came across was the team was struggling. There were some injuries, and the team was like not getting a good attendance, so like they were starting to get financial issues, and like he owns the team or part owner of the team. So Yogs was like, "Yeah, give me the skates. I'll hop back on."
I thought he played one game when they were short. That's all I thought he played, and then all of a
I
sudden
think he just stuck around after that.
So, anyways, he got professional goal number 1,099.
We're talking about Jaromir Jagr here.
Passing Gretzky, because Gretzky had 1,098 professional goals. So Jaromir Jagr is the all-time professional goal scorer at 1,099. Does that it doesn't count for anything? But
why?
Yeah, I think it does.
No, I mean he's scoring goals in whatever league he's in now.
It's a professional league, though. Still,
I know. I don't think it counts. Like it's not touching the record by any means.
Yeah, like it doesn't carry the same weight as Gretzky's.
No.
Soon to be always.
Soon to be always. Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
But I mean, it is still like a pretty incredible record.
On this note,
what did he miss for NHL seasons? Like, wasn't it like almost 10 years?
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
He went over to the KHL and played for quite a few years. Maybe it's not 10, but it's a good chunk.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. They would count that in this, though, wouldn't they? If that's a professional.
For the professional, yeah. So I think is he fourth in the NHL all time now?
So we should have looked that up before. I'm not 100% sure.
Doesn't matter. It's not a hockey podcast, so we don't need to know the specifics here.
On the milestone note, did you guys see the highlights, or was anybody watching last night?
Of Yogs?
No, of LeBron.
I
turned it on. I turned it on just because, like, that Sparrow sent me a snap and said it was he only had 8 points left until he broke the record. So I flipped it on, and he actually like just put on an absolute clinic in the third quarter. Like, just went off and then finished it off in like the last 5 seconds of the quarter. And I was expecting like a loud cheer maybe, and like something to go up on the scoreboard, and then like at the end of the game maybe like once the game's over everybody flood the court. But like the shot went in, man, and all of a sudden like everybody just like from around the court side just flooded onto the court, and like the news reporters came out and like they did this big ceremony, and like the video up on the
right
screen.
After the point.
Yeah, mid-game, man. It's like
no.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah. It was in the middle of the game, man, right at the end of the third quarter. And then they had to come out for one more play in the third, and then they went for another break. It was just absolute. God. It was insane. And they like Kareem passed him a ball, like basically passed the record over to him. It was pretty sweet. I know there's not a big LeBron hater in the chat here, but maybe two.
Who?
Like,
you hate him, don't you?
Yeah, I don't like him for sure.
I don't like him, but like you can't deny like
what he's done is incredible.
Yeah,
like,
unreal.
Yeah, he's the best. Yeah, it was cool to watch. It was really cool to see. But I thought that the funniest thing about the whole, and maybe 3-pointers weren't a thing back then. I don't know. When did the line come in? Was it Kareem's whole career?
I don't think for Kareem. Not his whole career, I don't think.
It compared the stats, and it showed LeBron's 3-pointers and Kareem's. Guess how many he had?
Like total?
Yeah.
Under. Yeah, I got nothing.
3. So all his points were like just hard-nosed points, man. And LeBron's got like he had so many threes. Like I forget what the number was, but yeah, it was nuts. Pretty crazy, anyways.
That's crazy. Do you think I guess we can't really like storm the ice when Ovi.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But I mean, they're stopping play.
Is Ovi going to hit it? I haven't been paying too much attention.
Oh, yeah.
Is he?
Like, we got a couple years
yet,
but he's going to hit it.
Nice.
He could stand in that spot for the next decade and score 30 a year.
Unless he gets like assassinated or something.
By who?
I don't know. Maybe Pootsie gets buck wild.
Isn't he buddies with Vlad?
Putin in his profile picture, man. He took a lot of flack for that.
What's up next year?
Well, we should talk about AC.
Oh, I didn't know I was going back to back. Sorry. All good, yeah. AC had his kid as we predicted last episode. Addison Cockrell, his daughter. So look for that name on the LPGA in 18 years. No, super big congrats though to AC. He's back home. Life-changing event, obviously. It's awesome. Drums can attest. We can't really yet, but yeah, Drums maybe touch on what that's like, or yeah.
He's probably not getting a ton of sleep for the next little while, but I don't know. Like, there's so many different ways to do things that you're never going to be told the right thing to do. You're just going to figure it out yourself. It's an incredible journey. It's a frustrating journey at times, but it's an amazing journey. So just enjoy it. Buckle up and enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not that it's an important thing. I don't know the timeline on when we expect to see AC back on the course. I don't know what that's all about. I know that the last tournament he played, and I don't think there was a chance that he was going to finish the tournament, whether he made the cut or not, just the way things were going with the due date and everything. So, so the relief of everything's through and everybody's healthy and everything's good. So big shout out to AC. Congrats.
Absolutely.
Drums, do you rely on YouTube much for parenting advice? Because our parents didn't have YouTube. No. Did you have to read a bunch of baby books? Yes.
I read half of one.
What was it about? Or the key takeaways?
I just wrote puked when they started talking about what was like the financial side of things, and like how much it's going to cost to put them through university and shit. So I had a panic attack, closed the book, and then we picked it up again.
Yeah, that's fair. Drums, you got a story about David Beckham.
Yeah, so this one, it's a Twitter feed from our boy Joe Pompliano, and this is pretty cool. So back in 2007, David Beckham shocked the world by leaving Real Madrid and signing with the LA Galaxy of the MLS. They were,
I remember that,
begging for like a face of the league, and they ended up getting one with the biggest soccer star on the planet. So at the time, he was, I believe, the highest paid in the whatever league that is. I don't even know. There's 20 different leagues over there. But anyways, so he ended up taking a 70% pay cut from 20 million to 6.5 to come to the States. But in his contract, he was able to negotiate a couple key things. So one of the main ones with the team was, where did we go? He was able to negotiate a percentage of all income from the LA Galaxy. So that included merchandising, tickets, sponsorships, and concession sales.
Wow.
So in total, that upped his salary. In 5 years, he made $255 million with the LA Galaxy. So not bad compared to your 25 that you left.
And is he still getting that to this day, or is that part of the...
So the next part of the negotiation in his contract was that he negotiated that at any point he could exercise his right to buy or start a franchise for a $25 million startup fee. So over his time in the league, attendance went up 40% throughout the league. Their TV revenues skyrocketed from 8 million to 250 million. There were a couple
8
teams.
to 250?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I remember that. Like, that was a huge thing. That was like top news story, is him going to the LA Galaxy.
Yeah. So like with all that incredible growth, it just skyrocketed the franchise's values throughout the league. In 2008, the average franchise was valued at 37 million. And that currently, I guess in 2022, they were, the average was 582 million.
Holy shit.
So recent expansion opened up throughout the rest of the states. A team opened up in St. Louis in 2019. Their fee for opening or starting up the team was 325 million. In 2020, Beckham exercised his right to start a franchise at his $25 million. opening a team in Miami. I don't even know if opening is the right word. Starting a team? How do you term that?
Opening.
Opening or
but anyways,
starting.
in 2 years, they're currently the 10th most valuable franchise at $585 million. So in 15 plus years, he kind of flipped a $25 million contract. I believe it was an expiring contract too. So that was like he was up then. He was kind of a free agent at that point.
Plus, he's a
so
beauty.
he turned a $6.5 million a year contract into a net worth of over 500 mil.
Wow. So
Crazy.
I'm wondering how he would have put that on his contract if it's like to do with the league and not the team. You know what I mean? Like the team wouldn't really be able to say, yeah, you can do this for 25 mil.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it would have been like, I mean, the whole franchise or the whole league would have
you're
begging
right.
to get
You're
him
right.
over. Right?
You're
so
right.
they would have been doing anything for it.
Yeah, so that might have been a separate contract with the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been.
That makes sense. That's cool. I don't think he needs the money, but he's got Posh Spice, baby. What else could you need?
Spice World. He's in Spice World.
He is.
Movie?
Every day.
No, I'm saying every day. Spice World, baby.
Okay, the last part of housekeeping here. Did you guys happen to listen to the Hardy album?
Yeah, that middle song was sick, actually.
The Mockingbird and the Crow?
Yeah, I don't know how much I like the radio song or like
Isn't it wild though?
it's crazy, but I like I would say I like 3 of the screamo ones, including like the middle song. But I'm kind of a soft music guy, so but the middle song's super cool, like just the story behind it and everything about it. It's very, very interesting.
And did you like the first part of the album then, the slower stuff?
I heard most of it or some of it before.
Yeah.
And I didn't listen to the whole thing because I just basically got to the what's it called? Mockingbird and Crow.
Yeah.
And then I listened to Sold Out with a New Meaning too. After listening to that. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's a cool album for sure.
It is. It's been on repeat here. It's nice. You know, sometimes you find good music and you can listen to it for a long time. This is one of those for me. And sometimes I run out of music I give a shit about and I go to podcasts, but lately it's just been that album on repeat. Driving, working out, shower, getting ready for the pod. There's some good songs on there. But yes, Rodrigo, you're right. The radio song is a little bit much for most people.
It's a lot, but yeah.
I'm waiting for Cam to come on here if he listened to it because he'd be like, what is this? But it's cool. I just like the fact that he's kind of making his own path and basically telling the industry to give them the 2 middle fingers, which I like. That's a big part of the reason I like Kip more too, because he did the same kind of stuff. So Bryce says we got some chatter finally here in the chat. Welcome, boys. Welcome, Ches, Trev, Bryce. Still in Thailand? Yes. We're on the way home.
Oh, he's in Australia.
So is that on the way home?
No, we went to Thailand and then to Thailand on a pleasure trip, Bali business trip, and now Australia pleasure.
Ooh, lots of pleasure for the kid. He's in Pleasureland. No, what's it?
Spice World.
Spice World.
From here on out, we shall call it Spice World.
Morgan Wallen, new album March 3rd. With how many songs, Reggie?
I thought 32.
I thought 36.
Oh, back in Bali now. Holy, guy's just everywhere. Son of a gun. Yeah. I can't keep up.
I don't think it's very far, though, from Aussie to Bali. Is it? I don't know. Get out the Google Maps.
They both end in IA, so they got to be close. Indonesia and Australia, they got to be close, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, they're right above. Indonesia's right above Australia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the golf stuff, bellies. Reggie, you're talking about a guy and a son in a PGA store. I want to know what the plot is.
Yeah. I never did talk about this on here, and I don't know how I didn't. It was one of the craziest things I think I've seen, like, in terms of, like, father-son, like, abuse, maybe? I don't know if that's what you'd call it. So, like, I pumped up PGA Superstore to East for a long time, and, like, finally walk in there, and it's a sick store. And then we walk around I noticed this father and son at the putting green when we were there.
Oh, this isn't a viral thing. This is you.
This was me.
Oh, I thought, this was like a clip.
No, this was me live. So
Where
we
the hell
walked around the
PGA
store, did
Superstar,
some
Reggie?
in Arizona.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So we shopped around for quite a while, and then we ended up. I wanted to go check out the putters, so I went over there, and these guys are still there. And this guy, man, around the hole, 3 feet around the hole, 4 feet maybe, he's got like 20 balls lined up around the hole. And this, from what I gathered, from what I saw, this kid had to make all 20 putts before he was able to go home. And the kid was like laying like down, like crying because he wanted to go home so bad.
No.
And his dad just kept setting up the balls. Yeah.
In a store?
In the PGA Superstore. Like, is that?
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't call the police.
Right. The kid was like wild. The kid was crying and laying down. And like the dad's like just keeps lining the balls up for him.
How old?
8?
What?
9, 10? I don't know. Somewhere in there. It was like, psychotic. I'm like, ease.
Ugh.
She's like, let's get out of here. You don't need to look at putters. I'm like, no, just check what's going on here. Like, the kid's like laying down, and then he gets back up and knocks like 5 in a row and then missed the 6th. And then it's back to square one. It's like, what? It's like torture, man.
Wow.
I feel like that's something you do like in your basement, maybe, or at the golf course, possibly. Like,
Yeah,
in public?
even then. Yeah, it was a psychopath move in public for sure.
That's fucked.
Like, yeah, it's crazy.
What a
Crazy to
loser.
see. Yeah.
Fuck that, Dad.
Yeah, like I don't know. Maybe there's manslaughter that day. Maybe the kid just took the putter to the dad, and that's it.
Had enough.
Yeah,
that shit happens. I mean, kids can only take so much.
Yep.
Drums. We got the Netflix show coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
Do we got
another? Did you guys watch the newest trailer? I think it dropped. What are we? Wednesday? Monday?
Was there a new one? I didn't even see it. I must have missed it.
Yeah, not much more really. I guess there was kind of clips of some more caddy to player conversations, so I'm pretty pumped for those. And like good banter between them, like I'm gonna punch you in the stomach for giving me the wrong club, shit like that. And then there was a good clip of Poltz absolutely losing it in the locker room, throwing clubs around. So I honestly didn't think until very recently, like how much interaction they would have with the LIV players for the documentary, but it seems like it's going to be a huge part of the series, the clash between the two leagues, I guess. With Brooks, seems like he might be one of the bigger parts of it from the trailer, anyways. He was a good focus of it, so I don't know. It's still I literally can't wait to watch this. Are you guys binging this? You trying to get through it in one day?
Are you guys bingers?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're on mute.
Sorry. I was muted for a while there, eh?
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, yeah.
Remember that time you were on mute for like 20 minutes?
I thought you guys were ignoring me. You assholes better not cut me.
Give me a Diet Coke. I'll be all right.
I don't know where I left off.
So this is like the age-old question, because there was an experiment I don't know who performed the experiment or anything like that, but they were giving kids the option of getting one marshmallow or one sucker, whatever it is today. You could have one today, or you can wait till tomorrow and you get 2 of them, right? And that kind of tests the kids' ability to think ahead, plan for the future, all that kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
What were you guys in that one? Because I was definitely I'll have 2 tomorrow instead. And that's what I think about this PGA one is like, I don't want to get through it all in one day. I want to stretch it out over X amount of days and reward, not reward, but have something to look forward to. Because I think it's going to be awesome to watch. But in that experiment, would you guys have been take 1 today or take 2 tomorrow?
I stash.
I
always stash.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd
Hold it
take
up.
2 tomorrow.
Would you?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
2 drums?
Yeah, in that scenario, I guess so. But if we're talking actual like binge watching, it depends on the show too.
It's the same thing though.
Nah, it's not.
It's not because you don't get 2 of
It's
the
not because
show
I
the
go
next
back and
day.
forth.
I guess that's true. That's true.
But
Like there's some shows I'll watch as a week to week basis, but there's other shows that I'm like, fuck, that's too good. I gotta keep going here.
yeah, it is tough, man. You get sucked in, and then the episode ends. You're like, fuck, I can't wait
wait
till
a
the
week?
next one. Like, I gotta know what's going on here.
Yeah, like right now there's a new one on HBO, The Last of Us, and we haven't watched it yet because I said this is going to be one that I'm going to want to binge. So I'm trying to build up a good base before I step into it.
Oh, so then you are waiting. Then you're the number 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, were you?
On some things though?
Yeah.
But like if it was a bag of candy, I'm fucking dummy in it.
I eat the whole thing.
Yeah.
I can't hold back till tomorrow. Bag of
Really?
jerky, man. I try to save it, and then I'm like, I don't know how many times in the car I actually like. I'll buy a big bag of jerky, and I'll put the zip on, and fold it up and tuck it away. Like, there's no point. I'm grabbing it 2 minutes later, anyways, and opening it back up. Like, I'm like, okay, that's it for now. Then I just pull it right back up. I'm bad like that for snacks, actually, but
snacks, I'm so bad. Like Liz has to hide her snacks.
yeah,
Really?
If I get a sniff, they're gone.
Yeah,
drums. Just totally off topic here, but on the Netflix topic, did you talk on your one day about that Anna one?
Inventing Anna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Holy
he?
shit!
That's the
Yeah.
girl
Pretty
from
crazy, man.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Wherever, yeah, Russia maybe, or
Well, nobody knows.
Sorokin.
Yeah.
I think that's
But yeah,
actually
like-
Rip's goalie's sister.
But she's got her own show now.
What?
She got out of the.
I haven't finished it yet, but
She,
I haven't even.
this isn't part of like the show, but I think she got out for COVID. Like she was released and then extradited back to Germany or wherever the fuck, and now she's gonna have her own reality show. Ridiculous.
How? Why do they reward people like that? Like, she's
Well,
a con artist.
I honestly put more fault on the morons that she conned.
That's
Is it-
crazy,
Is
though.
this a true story?
Yep.
Isn't that the girl from what's that?
No, that's a different one.
Anne of
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Gables?
No, I'm
Creating-
thinking Ozark.
Yeah.
Same girl?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's based off a true story.
Yeah.
And the true girl is making her own reality show.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's. I haven't. I've just been like, because Easton's watching it, so I
Mhm.
kind of just pop in the room and watch it a bit. Like, it's crazy how quick she is, though.
definitely
Like,
I like her as an actress, actually. She's good.
Phenomenal. So good.
Drums, did you watch the rest of that 100 Fitness or whatever? 100 Strong?
No, I didn't get back to it. I was gonna do it on the weekend and then.
okay, what's it
whatever
called
popped
now? I
up.
was trying to think what it was called the other day.
100 physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did anybody in the chat watch 100 Physical?
I'm gonna watch it tonight, I think, actually.
Yeah, Bryce said whatever happened to that girl that got released from Russia, the WNBA player. Didn't US like make a trade or something for
Yeah.
person?
Yeah,
We didn't
like
cover
a,
this.
like a
Did we?
high.
Yeah, so they traded her for the world's most famous, most renowned arms dealer from Russia, the Merchant of Death. Did you ever see Lords? What is it? Lord of War, with Nick Cage, where he's like an arms
that's
dealer.
a good movie.
That's him. That's who the guy's based off of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And that's who they traded?
Wildest trade of all time. It was
The worst, the worst trade in history.
If you took these last 3 years of life and like tried to come up with like a movie of how crazy you can make things, there's not a chance anybody could write better than what's actually happened in real life.
Like I said this 2 years ago, Idiocracy literally fucking happened for the past 3
Times
years.
10 though, Drums.
I know, it's unbelievable. Like nobody ever thought, oh, this movie is complete bananas. Nobody would ever we'll never get to this point. We've far surpassed that.
Do you see the fucking balloon that flew over Canada and got sniped in the States?
And they've said it's been up there for months. Just lurking.
Did you see? I think it must have just been an edited picture today. There's the Waste Management, and they had a LIV Golf logo on it.
The thing that's a perfect example, Reggie. Like the thing that like people don't lose their minds because like this shit happens, and then there's like memes that come out of it, and so it almost turns into like a comedy show. But it's like this shit's actually happening in real life. So
like we're just desensitized to absolutely everything.
Yes. Yeah.
No way that's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, it happens. Like what?
Well, we were even talking in a group chat today. We were talking about Paul Pelosi. Remember, Drums? We watched that video.
Yeah.
Where the cops show up and he's got whiskey in one hand, and then he just gets hammered in the side of the head. Like the craziest video I've ever watched, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it, or Reggie never heard of it before.
Absolutely not. Like the guy, they open the door and the guy's just like, "Hi, what's going on here?" "Oh, not much." "Okay, you're gonna need to put the hammer down." "Nope." And then clunk.
It's
and then he's just snoring.
You
can hear him in the video.
We're going to OTR here.
Yeah, we're off the rails.
Sorry.
It's all right. We led into it.
Bring us back. Bring us back on the rails. Bring us back on the track. What else?
Back, like, actually kind of on the same subject. The patio on the bridge.
Yes.
Like, what are we doing here at St. Andrews? Like, who thought that was a good idea? What happened there?
Is that like in the middle of a hole?
No. It's right in front of the bridge.
But is that not in the middle of a fairway?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yes. It's the craziest thing.
So like, I understand what their thought process was around it.
Like they started the construction of it all, and then like Twitter said that's the stupidest idea of all time. And then they stopped the construction.
No, they put this thing in, and then Twitter lost their mind, so they removed it after it was already installed. But like it's such a famous spot that everybody gathers there. So like the traffic that's congested into waiting or going into that onto that bridge, it's kind of tore up the fairway area. So it was like a mud pit all the time. So they thought, well, we'll put this patio there to get rid of this mud pit essentially. But Twitter lost their fucking mind, and St. Andrews had to cave to Twitter.
Well, for good reason.
They should have, but
I feel like more people should listen to Twitter because there's a little bit of common sense there instead of these morons.
But like some of those, like the gifs in the tweets, calling it the patio, St. Andrews patio. Oh,
is it actually a patio there, or is that like an exaggeration?
No, it's just an exaggeration.
Well,
people are saying they're having a picnic at the patio. It's all fixed though. They fixed it already. Do you see that picture? So. Like it's all patched up.
Yeah.
The Open won't be back there for a few years now, will it?
Right. Yeah.
Or will it? Do you guys know?
Well, it was just there last year, right?
Yeah, I don't know when it'll be there.
Tiger walked over the bridge and everybody started crying.
Yeah, I didn't.
Pansies.
Tiger will be winning the next time it's there. He'll have like a robotic leg.
Yeah.
Tiger's got a new course in Utah. Longest course of all time?
Seems like it. Did you see some of the holes like from the tips? It's 8,000 yards.
Isn't there 3 or 4 holes over 600?
Yeah, I think so. Let me bring it up here.
Utah is such a cool.
Oh, did you see is it topography? Is that what you'd say?
Yep.
Where it is? Sick. Like just where it's going to be. I don't know. You won't be able to see it on here. I should have done a screen share, but
I can do it. What's it on, Reggie?
it's it's on Tiger's Instagram.
Oh, I'll try to do it quickly, but you can keep talking in the meantime.
It just looks like an absolutely sick golf course, man. Like just from the tips, I've never seen anything like it. Actually, I'm trying to bring up I had it today, and I had it saved before. And now I can't find it, of course, when I actually need to.
Yeah, whenever you're live, your brain shuts down in a way. Do you think the Tigers actually going to be?
Sorry. So this isn't the topography, but it's called Marcella, and it's in Utah, and Park City, Utah. So the first hole is a 660-yard par 5. All the par 5s are over 600 yards from the tips. 660, 630, 702, 643, and 607 for a total of 8,000 yards, 8,064 yards.
What's the longest? Do you know?
I mean, that kind of has to be, doesn't it?
I've never heard anything in the eights before. I feel like Tiger's going to actually make a name for himself as an architect. But do you think he's the one designing these, or is he just putting his name behind it?
What the?
Anybody else?
7,800 yards is the longest.
So this is the longest.
Yeah. Classic Tiger.
Trump's having a stroke.
Oh, here we go. Oh. Trevor said Park City's at a 7,000 foot elevation, so that'd be a big factor. So those holes wouldn't play that long.
That's sick, though.
Yeah, it is really sick.
That's a cool way to like make your course infamous for like being so long, but also still making it playable for people to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just true.
That's genius. So we got some. Go ahead, Reggie.
That's crazy long, isn't it, ladies?
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's like. That's not that long.
Okay, back to
that video.
Back to the bridge quickly here. Dusty's got some info for us. Send close enough construction out there to put random stones out in front of the fucking bridge, like the most famous monument on a golf course. And it's right in line with the player's view hitting the tee shot. You really have to wonder, like, who is in charge of making some of these decisions? You know?
Yeah. That's a head scratcher.
Oh, so every par 5 is over 600.
Yeah.
And Park City, Utah is 7,000 feet above sea level, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Big factor, yeah. I mean, I drove through Utah. Part of it was at night, but there's a place called the Zion National Park. It's very similar to Sedona, Reggie. So it's the same kind of red rock landscape, mountainy, all that kind of stuff. Utah's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dad went there a couple years ago. He said it's unreal. I'd like to go there.
And where's Tiger's other course that he just came out with, like the 19th hole that they played that match at?
I was gonna say Idaho. Is that?
I don't think it's Idaho.
No.
It's like Paynes Valley.
Yeah, where is that? I thought it was Idaho or Montana.
Montana, I think.
Yeah, I think it's
either Idaho or Montana.
Somebody in the chat will know. Where the hell's Rob been? Rob,
where
you out there, bud? Does he still watch him?
He was in Mexico for a while. I don't know. Should be back, I think.
Missouri.
I think he licensed it.
Oh, yeah. It's in the Ozarks, Reggie.
It's in Missouri.
It's in the Ozarks.
Really?
Yeah. Missouri was the craziest place I've ever driven through. Not that it is like crazy landscapes or anything, but literally every a minute there was a dead deer on the side of the road. Full carcass.
Full carcass. Really?
And 10 tires in between, because it's an interstate. So it's not like there's no highway patrol coming out to pick up the dead deer. Like they literally just sit there till they rot. And there's no birds like we have in Manitoba that come and eat them and shit, because the highway's so busy. There's no
so
birds.
The deer are the only things to like venture across.
It was so disgusting.
You hit one?
Vegetarian? No, we didn't hit one. Vegetarians would not do well in St. Louis. Going to St. Louis. Okay, and we have a question from Cam. Our weekly question with Cam. This is a good one. Hold on, I got to show Trev's comment there. Hold on. Should have had this loaded. Sorry, folks. So we had the Pro-Am last weekend, right? So he says, in light of the Pro-Am, what living celebrity would you want to be paired with? You'd probably want them to be a golfer of some sort, and he would choose Bill Murray or Jake Owen. Decent golfer and pretty funny, Jake Owen. Jake Owen is a good golfer. I think he's a scratch, or close to anyways. Who do you guys think? Who would you guys want in the Pro-Am in Manitoba? Or if you were a PGA player, who would you want to play with as a celebrity?
You think we could probably get away from Bill Murray yet at the Pro-Am?
He's been there a lot of years. Never seems to disappoint, though. He's always got something up his sleeve.
But it's the same thing every year, no?
Yeah, they should probably consider that, actually, or giving him a
He's
little
got
more
the
time.
same shtick, and the guy's 90. Like, relax.
Who are you taking?
No, I love Bill Murray, but it's just okay. Let's get a new one.
Yeah,
I need a new Bill Murray.
Who are you golfing with, though?
JT.
Who do you want to be paired with?
JT Drum says.
Yeah.
No, which celebrity? You're the PGA player.
Timberlake.
JT.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Timberlake. Sorry.
Thomas. Reggie.
I'd take Tony Romo.
No.
Yeah, I bet you he's got so many crazy stories, and he's absolutely sick at golf. And I love listening to him on the broadcast. Like, I like him. Yeah, I do.
Actually, he's pretty popular, isn't he, for the broadcast?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you see? He almost got himself into a bit of trouble.
I just saw. Did he? What did he say? I don't know if I want to know.
Well, like there was like a clip where he's about to say something, but like almost catches himself. I don't know. You got to find it on the internet, but he almost says it, drops an M-bomb.
It says Tony Romo responds to criticism of broadcasting style and says you can't please everyone.
No. Like he was calling a play and was like, and then there's these two, and then just carried on. Did you see all the people pissed off at Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah. Because he fudged his handicap or something?
Allegedly. Like he said he was an 8 or 10 or something like that and was like even par all week.
In the tournament?
Yeah.
Well, good for him for shooting even all week.
That's who I would choose probably is Aaron Rodgers. That'd be my celeb, especially if he's fudging his handicap a bit.
Well, he might be getting on some ayahuasca and shit out there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be going. That'd be a good one. I think Aaron Rodgers would be good. I don't know. That'd be my top probably. He's a good shit too. So Trev said his brother lives in SLC,
St. Louis County.
Says the countryside is amazing. The countryside is amazing. It's like rolling hills, but the people are a bit touched.
St. Louis Cardinals?
Apparently St. Louis is one of those cities that's kind of just gone to shit the last. You drive through some of those cities in the States, man, it's just like a different world almost.
Oh, Salt Lake City.
Yeah, Missouri's kind of like low-key Hicksville, isn't it?
Well, it's Midwest, right?
Kind of brought that out. But.
Yeah. Trev meant Salt Lake City. Sorry.
That's where Dad went to Utah.
Dusty says, not sure if he golfs, but I'd love to spend 5 hours listening to Jordan Peterson. Amen.
I can't handle his voice.
No. He'd be lining up for putt, and he'd just be like right in your ear, like telling you like the deepest secret of the world. You don't like him?
No, yeah, I don't mind him. It's just his voice drives me insane.
Do I live under a rock?
You have no idea who it is, right?
I don't know who Jordan Peterson is.
Okay, that's not for this podcast.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
It's just
he's good shit. I think he's for this podcast. I'm for him, so he's for this podcast.
Yeah, no, I just mean like, and we're not going into who Jordan Peterson.
what he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Long one.
Moving on.
Okay, let's quickly talk about the LIV stuff going on, and then we're gonna get to the segments.
Yeah. I don't have a whole lot on this. I saw like a few different tweets saying that Dusty said he almost dropped his drink, probably because I don't know who Jordan Peterson is, but that's irrelevant. I don't know who he is. I don't pay attention to a whole lot other than hockey and golf, and just living. So that's just how I roll with social media. I don't know. Stupid maybe, but so Augusta LIV apparently purchased land for like a sick amount of money, like within 10K of Augusta National in Augusta.
Is this hearsay or confirmed?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I saw like 3 or 4 different tweets that said that they did or are inquiring about it.
Yeah, I think it was more inquiring at this point.
Offered $350 million. I saw on one of them, but
whatever. Good luck.
I mean, would it surprise you at this point?
I think the sellers would be stupid to take that offer, in my opinion.
Like the land seller?
Then we're getting into the same argument, though, of
why?
Well,
why?
It's the same for me as foreign investors coming over to Canada and purchasing land in BC and in at least these guys would be making use of it, though. I think that the foreigners who are buying land here are getting rid of some illegal money that they've come across in a certain selective ways. But I just feel like it'd be the same thing. It's like I don't want my neighbor to sell their land to people who are going to misuse that land in any way. And whether the LIV does that or not, I don't know. Could you realistically build another Augusta right beside it? And what would that benefit them?
Yeah.
Like there's a whole planet Earth out there. Like go somewhere else to an extravagant location and like set up your own Masters there. Like why make it in the same county as the Masters? Like that would just be so, I don't know.
It's a fight. They're never, ever going to win that fight. I could see, like, even if it's a 1% chance, they may defeat the PGA at that 1% chance. But there is 0% chance they ever beat or take over the Masters. That will never, ever happen. They're already included in the tournament at this point. So I don't see why you have to do the alternative. Like, could you imagine if they tried to, like, have a tournament the same week as their guys?
Yeah.
Like, how stupid that would be. Like, I don't know. Like, I can believe it on one hand, and I don't believe it on the other hand.
Right.
Like, it doesn't make any sense to do.
But we also don't know, like, I'm with you, but we also don't know the idea. Maybe there's better land. Maybe there's better views. Maybe there's more flexibility in terms of what they can do at the course and extending it and all that kind of stuff.
Fine. You will never get an eyeball from me if you're playing it at the same time as the Masters. You'll never, ever win that fight.
I don't believe you, Drums.
How not? The Masters, the Masters.
Okay, but we're talking about the Masters. We're talking about Augusta National here.
We're talking about practice,
which is historic, iconic, beautiful. Would you not at least want to see what like they can come up with if they're mix? Yeah, you would. There's no way you would be able to keep your eyes off of that.
No, like I said, if they're doing it to like compete against it, it's never going to win that fight. That doesn't mean if it was on a different weekend I wouldn't watch it, but if it's on the same weekend and they're going head to head against each other, there's 0% chance that anybody watches them.
Well, I don't think they'd do that. But I don't know though. Who knows?
But I mean, then what's the point of having the tournament beside the other tournament?
Well, there's no way that Augusta National would let them do it there.
And that is it really
They didn't let black people play on the golf course till like 1980?
Is it really about the course there? Like about the layout? Like
Well,
the scenery?
it is because there's all the Georgia pines there. It's very green. I
But
think.
there lots of Augusta's, like there's far more beautiful courses in the world than it probably if they put the same amount of time they
That's
do
what I
into
mean.
that course as they do anywhere else. So I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't understand the whole concept of it. I don't know why they would do it, but that's just what I saw on Twitter. So I thought I'd throw it in here and discuss.
Reggie, the answer probably is because they can.
Yeah, 100%. That's probably what pissed me off the most about it.
The funny thing about your like foreign investors buying up our real estate and stuff like that, that was my first thought with the hot air balloon. Was like, if you're surprised that they're spying on us, wait till you find out that they own half of the states.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That balloon's wild, man. I could talk about
That's
that
hilarious.
for an hour.
Me too. It's so funny to me.
So Chad says, I don't think that's stupid on the sellers and they would build an amazing facility. But how do you know that? Like, I don't know. That's what I don't understand. Like, and we got more from Chaz. However, nothing will ever touch the legacy of courses. Exactly. It's the history that really makes those courses. And even the fact, Reggie, remember you did your segment on Augusta last year talking about how the birds are fake there?
Mm-hmm.
They have speakers in the trees and shit.
No, I think it's just post-production, isn't it?
I think it's post-production.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, what else is fictional about that place? And it is. It's just like
the color.
It's a cool golf course. It's beautiful. It's very green, but there are better places on earth to put a golf course if you really want to compete with the Masters.
Yes. Definitely.
And we had this was something that we saw last week, pretty much right after the podcast. They started talking about this. But if the LIV Tour had a match against the PGA Tour, all three of us were on the same page of that the PGA would mop up the LIV Tour in terms of like a Ryder Cup style event. But I would much prefer watching LIV golf versus PGA as compared to US versus Europe.
You think so? I don't know, man.
100%.
Yeah, I would, just because of the drama. Like, I don't think. Yeah, I think in place of the President's Cup, I would watch that, but I don't think it could take over the Ryder Cup just yet. But if it's its own separate event, I want to see that so bad.
But I would bet a lot of my money saying that if they did that, at least the first year, so if they announced that they were going to have a LIV versus PGA event, I think that would be the most watched golf event in history, especially if Tiger and Phil were involved and they were playing each other.
100%.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if the same country versus country like tradition would live on, but the first time that they did it,
mm-hmm.
I think that would be the most watched golf event in history.
Ever. By far. Like, it'll be up there on top sporting event.
I would agree, especially if Tiger's still there.
Yeah, I seen this debate going on Twitter. How would you feel if in 5 years LIV is tits up and those players are wanting to come back to the PGA Tour?
What about?
Like, how would you feel about that? Would you want them to be allowed back in? Fuck them for life?
I mean, it's not really up to me, but if I was at the PGA perspective, I would probably, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want them to come back. As much as I said that I would be welcoming of them and understand their situation, but I would be salty about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had the Yager conversation a while ago.
Yeah.
Yager left, went to the K.
Yeah.
Came back to the NHL.
And same reasons probably, right?
Yeah.
Cash money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I you know where I stand.
Yeah.
But I also want the best golf product, so I don't know where the hell I would stand with that. Like, I want to watch good golf, and there is good golf in the PGA right now, so I don't know if you really need the LIV guys anymore.
No, but Drums is asking if you're a PGA player.
Oh, fuck. Tell them to kick rocks.
Yeah.
Why would you ever want them back? Honestly, they basically tried to sewer your tour.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if I'd have like a strong opinion either way. Like one day I might be for it, one day I might be against it. I don't know. And like it's more like I would like DJ back in. But if they're putting DJ back in, then Patty Reed's got to come with that. Like it's tough.
I'm sure, you talk about Yager going back to the NHL after you're leaving. There's a bunch of guys who went to the World Hockey League and came back to the NHL afterwards, right? And I mean, they were probably pissed off at the time, but like looking back in perspective, like 20 years ago, I'm sure those guys don't give a shit about that now. That's just something that they were.
That was a key part in raising salaries
In the NHL.
Yeah.
So who knows what the implication of this will be too? I know that it's already done a lot of good, right? In terms of Yeah, and I think that as we go along here, because one of the main things was that the PGA Tour controls all of the players' media stuff, right? That was a big one.
Correct.
Right?
I don't know if that's the case anymore.
Yeah,
I'm sure it is.
I don't know, man. That there's been a lot of stuff on TikTok, like PGA players showing like a week in the life of them, and it's like them hitting shots in the tournament. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's right, actually, because Sonny's been posting stuff too.
I've seen lots of stuff, so I don't know how true that is anymore, honestly.
Well, that's a good example, though, then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Dad says exact same thing happened with hockey. It probably happened in a bunch of sports. Hockey is the one that I would be most familiar with for sure. Dusty thinks the LIV guys would win. Guys trying to bash the legitimacy of the competition at this point are sour. I mean, it's tough to say. You're talking about, say it's 12 versus 12. You're talking about all world-class players, and anything could happen on any given day on the golf course. But if they had 10 simulations of the same thing, I'm thinking the PGA would win, what, 8 of those, Reggie?
The pressure would be on the PGA, and there's a lot of mental involved in golf. So the LIV wouldn't really have anything to lose. I don't know.
Chaz doesn't.
Well, I mean, like when we get down the line here, like I don't know, you could put out half of the fucking PGA roster against Chase Koepka. Like, like when you get down to it, like the bottom of the barrel, I think the PGA still has the deeper talent pool.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously they do.
And Drums, it's funny you say that because when you said that, I thought the exact same thing about the President's Cup. Like the top ends of both teams were fairly matched, and we saw that kind of play out. But it's the bottom matches that kind of dictate, and I think that the PGA would have the major upper hand at that.
Right.
But I don't know. PGA Tour is definitely deeper in terms of talent. So I wouldn't honestly care who won. I wouldn't not care. I would just love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be unreal.
Okay, well, we're past an hour. Let's get to the Staggies here. Reggie, what do we have tonight for shaving strokes off the game? How can people get better at golf?
So this was actually kind of related to you. It's from John Sherman again. And I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is how you started fading it. He just said, one of my favorite practice methods is to doing the opposite of your fault. I straightened out my excessive draw/hook by trying to hit fades for years. This can work for a lot of things: impact, location, ground contact, delivered loft, etc. So like you, instead of trying to hit the ball straight instead of a draw, you just started hitting a fade, right?
Yep. Correct. Yeah, I mean, I really like the draw. And when the draw was good, it was really good.
Really good, yep.
But it also turned into a snap hook at the drop of a hat, especially when I had a little bit of pressure and I started to get a little bit tight and quick.
Mm-hmm.
And Drums knows the feeling of that. And there really is no way to tell your mind to go straight back without really taking it inside a little bit from time to time. And those were the snap hooks.
Mm-hmm.
And so instead of even testing that out, instead of trying to take it straight back, I went further outside. And when you're going further outside, you drop down a bit and then your inside track comes in and it's a slice. The curve of it is a slice, just how you hit it. I mean, anybody could draw the ball, anybody could slice the ball. It's hard to hit it straight.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the takeaway is the biggest factor in how the ball goes. But that's just me. That's how I envision things. That's how my body works.
Mm-hmm.
People might tell you differently, but that's how I see it anyways. But what does he say?
No, just that. Honestly, I do that as well. Yeah, like if I'm hooking it, I just start really exaggerating a fade, and I actually started to try to hit a fade for. Well, yeah, I did the same thing. Hooks are so dangerous, man. Like draws are great; you can get them nice and close, but like it's just a totally different game playing a fade.
Hooks are dangerous
on
and off.
That's what I'll be focusing on. Start of the year.
So he's basically saying that somebody doesn't want to draw it anymore, start playing a fade.
Yeah, just to work on how to fix it, right? Just to
find some middle ground.
Yeah, find middle ground. Not necessarily go from hitting a draw to hitting a fade, but use trying to hit a fade to exaggerate certain things to straighten yourself out.
That's a really good idea, actually, and because
he's full of them, that guy.
It's hard. It's really hard to, like I said, go straight back and try to do everything straight. And when you're doing that, you kind of fade into your old habits. But if you really over exaggerate off the start, anyways, you have to over exaggerate that.
You have to.
Yeah. Even on the course, you're gonna hit a few skies out there, but it's much better than a snap hook, in my opinion. Try her out. I wonder if that would benefit Daly at all with his slice. Do you think it'd be worth trying for him to take it inside instead of out?
Probably.
I'm definitely going to try it.
I just don't know if Daly should be plucking with his swing because I don't. I think that he's improved tenfold over the last couple of years, and he's actually getting some distance out of his slice, and he knows exactly what it's going to do.
So, yeah. Is that making you better, though, or is that just adapting to it?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of depends what Dal wants out of golf, right?
Yeah, I think he's got to get his fucking clubs extended, but...
Yes, his wedges for sure.
Yeah.
Funny to watch that video of him on in the simulator there trying to get out of the bunker. I think someone even commented and get some longer clubs. Drums, do you got any Ucitas tonight for us?
I guess we'll classify this as a Ucitas, but this will be a quick one. Not really like a crazy recommendation, but on Monday, this made me feel old as shit. Monday was the 20-year anniversary of 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. So I've been bumping that for the past few days, but that knocked me on my ass when I realized it was 20 years since that album came out, and that kind of like dominated our high school years. So just catching that on a loop.
I remember listening to that in your basement in Dauphin.
So many good tunes on there.
Unreal, top to bottom.
What's the top tune? Because most people would know in the club, but like, what's your top tune on there? Many Men.
I don't know. Many Men's unreal. I like High all the time. If I Can't is a classic.
If I Can't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Patiently Waiting's good.
Yes.
PIMP is sick.
21 Questions.
Yeah. Actually a banger of an album.
It's a classic album. It's like a top, I think it's like pretty renowned, like a top 5 hip hop album.
That's wild, man. He was so big for a while. Holy man.
Huge for like 10 years. Like he just dominated. And like right now he has, I think it's like 6 TV shows going right now that he produces and like created.
Yeah, right.
What?
Do you watch
Yeah,
that
like
one? Drums? Bridge watches it all the time. It's like
Power?
Four or something? Power, yeah.
Yeah. I watched like the first 2 seasons. It kind of falls off a bit after that, but there's like branches off the Power.
Four,
There's like
right?
Power book, like there's like prequels and sequels that are already out of it. He's got like a show on ABC. There's a show on Netflix. Like he's just killing it.
Well, he needs the money.
No, he doesn't.
I thought he went bankrupt.
Yeah, but you as a finance person know what that means.
Yeah, true. You still got lots of assets. You just don't have the cash flowing.
Right. And I think it was just like
and you can get back in the game pretty easily if you're on the royalty train.
I think it was like one of his businesses went bankrupt.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it got exaggerated, which is a shocker, but so 20 years, man. Well, I don't know I wouldn't want to know what the Backstreet Boys millennia. Oh, I guess that would be the year 2000 then, 23 years, right?
Oh.
That was my banger of the childhood. And Come On Over by Shania Twain. I think that was even like 98 or 99.
I don't know if I knew a person growing up that didn't have Shania Twain album.
Dad, if Dad's still up in the chat, he probably remembers we drove all the way to Fernie, BC in the caravan drums. You remember that. You've ridden in that a couple times. And we had CDs, of course, not Spotify or not satellite radio. We probably listened to the Shania Twain album for
I was just gonna say
13 hours straight on repeat, 10 songs.
Yeah, like this must have happened more than Fernie because I remember this exact trip.
Purchased on Columbia House.
Do you remember your first purchase from Columbia House?
No. It probably was one of those ones, though. Or maybe Chumbawamba.
Mine was, I think I got 3. Yeah, I got 3 my first, like, whatever. My parents, you get like, how many did you get? Like 50 albums or 50 CDs for $4 or whatever the hell that was?
I forgot about that.
So I got to pick 3, and I had Space Jam.
Nice.
Our Lady Peace, and Mace.
What was Fly Like an Eagle?
Yeah, that whole album's unreal.
Imagine you had to open up a catalog and order CDs nowadays to listen to music.
What a pain in the ass.
Nuts. It's crazy how far we've come in the last 10 years or 15 years. It's nuts.
Music-wise, too, is crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of that, okay, I'm going to round things out here. Last segment, then we're going to wrap up the show. This segment is called Cool Shit, Golf or Otherwise. And this one's going to tie in a little bit of both. So we had our first founders meeting right before this show. And we went through a bunch of different things. And if you're somebody who's listening to this and still is kind of on the fence about 88 Sats, make sure to watch that version. We actually put it out on YouTube Live for people just to check out because there's a few really cool ideas on there, like a beef initiative where we're talking to local farmers and connecting them with the people within the group for whatever it is. You can listen to the episode. But
you got an egg connect there yet?
Well, that was part of it too.
All right.
So check that out. And part of it too is that the Kngdom is now on an app called Fountain. Drums and I facilitated this yesterday. And think of Fountain as basically like a Spotify, except it only plays podcasts. And also, as you listen to these podcasts, you get paid in sats. So it's kind of randomized. You can listen to it. It's an hour max per day. So today I listened to.
Paid in sats?
What's that?
The listener gets paid?
Yes.
That'll do.
And so if you find podcasts that you already listen to, instead of listening to it on Spotify, just listen to it on Fountain. And so I got 60 sats it's like 1 sat per minute. Sometimes it's 2 sats per minute. Sometimes it's 5 sats per minute. It kind of depends on the day, how much, people are listening. But the cool thing is that you can actually earn sats by listening, and then you can give it back to the content creators, like whoever is in charge of the podcast. So you can either set it up to stream automatically every minute, or you can do a boost where it sends like 50 sats to them. So it's pretty cool. We put our first podcast on Fountain yesterday. You just sync it through Spotify. But I woke up this morning and we had 300 sats. People had streamed. They gave us boosts of 100 sats. Just plucking around, probably. I don't know if they even listened to the episode or not. But I said to these guys, this is more than we've made in one day on a Fountain app, more than we've made on YouTube and Spotify in 2 years. Yeah. So I wanted to point it out to people for a few reasons. And the one is that if you're already listening to podcasts, even if you don't, like you could literally open this app, turn a podcast on, turn the volume down and earn free sats. And then if you actually find somebody that you like, you can stream that to them or boost it to them instead of actually using your own money to like tip them or pay a Patreon or whatever. You can just stream it directly to them. And there's no middleman. It's direct to your wallet. You can cash out. It's very cool. And what it's all about is the value for value method. And it's kind of getting away from the traditional, shoving ads down people's throats. This is, you find what you like and you give them value for whatever you got value in return from, right? Like if you're listening to this podcast, it takes time to do this stuff. It's an hour and a half every week for us. We come on here. We love doing it, but it's still work. And if you're somebody who's trading your time to listen to this, then that is value to you. And we're not asking for any money or anything like that, but that's just a way to facilitate that, right? Mm-hmm. So if you can fund your wallet and give it to the people, or you can just listen and then recontribute those sats to, whoever you see value in. So I think that I really believe that it is the way of the future. How long that takes to get there, I have no idea, but it starts with stuff like this. So check out the Fountain app, follow King Golf. You don't really have to follow us. Just listen to the episodes on there if you want to and earn some sats in the meantime and maybe chuck a few back.
Couple questions on the app.
Yeah.
Do you have to set up like a separate wallet? Can you
how do you send
to the wallet you've already got? Or is it all just hosted on the app?
No, actually I just cashed out by accident last night because I was just plucking around with it, trying to figure out how to do that. And so if you have a Moon wallet, which you can go to the App Store, you download the Moon wallet. It's MUUN. You don't need to enter your name, your phone number, your email, nothing. And you just download the app. So you have a Lightning address. And then you go to the app, you say, I want to withdraw my sats. You go into your Moon wallet, you paste their address in there. It generates an invoice through another platform called Zebedee. And before I could even think what was happening there, the sats were I got a notification on my Moon wallet saying the sats had arrived.
It's crazy how fast it all is.
It's actually mind blowing. And every person I show it to, like in person and actually use it with the Lightning Network and all that kind of stuff, people hear about Bitcoin and they think of like volatile. It's like a pet rock. It's fake money. Once you use Bitcoin and like see the value of stuff like this, like there's no need for Spotify anymore. There's no need for advertisers. If you get value from listening to a podcast, you can give it to them. You don't have to be hammered with bullshit ads down your throat. So I think that this is a model that King Golf and Silverstone, my other stuff I'm working on, that's what we're going to be focused on, is if you got value out of listening to this, then you give value back to the creators, because it is, it takes a lot of work to do this stuff. So I think it's really cool. It's a good way to do it instead of the old model with bad incentives. You're just, giving clickbait to people to try to get views and clicks and likes. Sorry.
Does Fountain take commission?
They take 5%. Well, 1%. 1% goes back into the fund. That's a really okay. So
yeah, go.
I absolutely love this stuff. So the cool thing is that eventually, if me, you, and Reg have Lightning wallets set up, you can put it in your own settings to split those three ways. Every time there's a payment that comes to the Kngdom, Reggie gets a third, I get a third, you get a third. You can do that right within the app, like the payouts. And if we have a guest on the show, we add their Lightning wallet to that specific episode, and they get 25% of the sats.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It is, actually.
So it creates an invoice, you said. Like, basically because there needs to be a transaction because this is finances for potential audits, that type of thing. So there is trails of it, right?
It's just called an invoice on the Lightning. So if you owed me $5, I could create an invoice on my Lightning, my Moon wallet, for $5. It doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin, but I can send you $5 worth of Bitcoin. Send you an invoice. You just scan the QR code, and it automatically generates that you owe me $5. And then you click send, and the Bitcoin comes to me.
Super cool.
It is. It's
crazy.
It's still all very early, and it's kind of that's the cool thing is that once you actually show people this stuff, their heads almost explode, and that's like the moment where you get your first amount of sats, and then you start playing around with this kind of stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend the Fountain app, and I've been listening to a bunch of different podcasts about the value for value stuff, and so I thought it'd be cool. I think I also have an idea that we're going to do maybe one show a month specifically on Fountain or Patreon, so people can either choose to do Patreon or check out Fountain. And then if they want to listen on Fountain and don't pay anything, it doesn't matter. It just kind of gets them into the app and gets them playing around with it a little bit, because I think that's how this thing will all grow. So
right.
Let's close her off, boys. I'm glad you guys are interested in that, because it's very, very interesting to me.
It's super cool.
Right? Yeah. I love things that make sense.
Well, let's make sense and
cut
it off. We'll close it out. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another fun-filled live event of the Kingdom. We will be here next week at the same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you next week. Love you, boys. Peace out. Later.
Love you, fellas. See you next week.